Hi guys, this is my second time filming this video because when I first filmed it, I forgot to say a lot of things. So here I am. Today I'm going to try and answer most questions about H. pylori. I think I'm going to make this into a series, otherwise this video is going to be like so long. So I'm going to put the main questions of symptoms and healing in this video. Then I'll make another video and I'll actually show you guys what I ate, how to make the foods I ate, because I still eat most of them now, just because it will make this a lot more shorter and kind of straight to the point, which is what I prefer in YouTube videos. I don't really like to watch people rambling, which is what I'm doing now. So anyway, so with H. pylori, I'm fully cured of it now. No symptoms, no nothing. I can do everything. I have my energy back up. I can drink whatever. Like I'm drinking, this is it's cold pressed juice. So it's just where they take like an apple and they just press it and then the juice from it. Yeah, anyway, I can drink that. I couldn't drink anything acidic before, but I can drink everything. I can even have energy drinks if I really wanted to. I could have that. I could have caffeine now. Just had an iced coffee not too long ago. Good old Mackey's. I can eat absolutely everything and anything, and I'm totally okay with it. No more indigestion, no more acid coming up. Only sometimes, but it's like when I have a lot of food that day, which makes a lot of sense. It's like what a normal person would get. Yeah, I'm not dizzy anymore. I don't have to take probiotics. I mean, I probably should be taking probiotics, but I don't really have to take them anymore. I don't take vitamins anymore because I'm just getting it from all my food. And yeah, so I'll go a bit into depth now with how long it took me to recover and the steps in which I take to make the recovery process easier. So it took me 1 year and 6 months to recover. I know that seems like a long time because it really was a long time. I was doing my HSC in school as well when I was suffering with it, so it definitely wasn't the best time. I had dizziness all the time, super weak. I had brain fog. I didn't have vomiting or diarrhea. I know some people can have that. I didn't have it. My mum had a bit more nausea than I did, but I did have nausea throughout the whole of the time that I was suffering with it. Even after I had been cured from H. pylori, I had nausea for a really long time, and it didn't go away until like recently, like about 2 months ago. That's when it kind of just went. So I don't have nausea anymore, thank God. I'm not dizzy anymore. I was dealing with dizziness a lot even after I got cured. This is probably most likely to do with the fact that your body can't absorb much nutrients. And I was super dehydrated while dealing with H. pylori because I could not swallow properly. It was really hard for me to even drink. Like a bottle this size would take me all day. And now my drinking is fine. Like if I drink... Done. I'm still not the fastest of drinkers or eaters. I'm actually still very slow at eating and drinking just because I got so used to taking my time whilst eating and whilst drinking when having H. pylori. And that was like the main time in which I'd have panic attacks because it felt like food was going the complete wrong way. That is why it's still hard for me to drink and eat super fast now. A lot of the panic attacks I had was when I did accidentally inhale food or I felt as if my throat was closing, because when you have acid that's constantly going on your throat, it tends to feel a lot tighter and then it flares up your tonsils as well. My tonsils still flare up from time to time. I'm not too sure what that's about, but it's just usually when my immune system's down that my tonsils do flare up. Yeah, I didn't have vomiting or any diarrhea, as I said before. I had a lot of brain fog. Like it was really hard for me to do my HSC while having H. pylori. And on top of that, I had an allergic reaction and a fever while having it. Because your immune system is compromised while dealing with an infection that it's fighting off, I was sick a lot of the time while on H. pylori. I feel like that's not really talked about much, but yeah, if you're dealing with something already in your body that it's fighting off, it's not gonna go well with anything. I couldn't heal piercings either. I remember it took me forever to heal my belly button piercing. It took me so long. So just be aware of that. My hair fell out quite a bit as well, just because my body wasn't really, you know, I didn't have like much nutrients in it. But yeah, and then when the healing was happening, I had 3 different types of antibiotics. But I just want to make it sure to you guys that you know that the only time, like the only reason why I had 3 different types of antibiotics is because I can't swallow pills. I've never been able to. So the antibiotics that I had may have not been the same ones that you will have, but I'll still leave them down below in the comments so then you will know. So there'll be the first pinned comment, and that's the antibiotics that I did take whilst having H. pylori. I also had multivitamins, just vita gummies. If you know what they are, they're just a vitamin in a gummy form because I can't swallow pills. So I had them. Some people think it's a contradiction to eat gummies or like vitamins while you're dealing with this because the H. pylori will kind of just eat up the nutrients. I still did it just to be sure of anything. I also had Gaviscon. Gaviscon is a tablet or a liquid, and it kind of, you just drink it or you eat it, and it lines the stomach and it lines your throat. It kind of just creates a barrier and it stops that acid from coming up and burning your throat. That really helped, but I did have to drink such a big amount of it. I had to have it at school as well. It was so annoying. I'd have to carry around this little bottle of Gaviscon, pour it into my measuring cup, and then drink it. I had it about every like 2 or 4 hours, I think, because that was the one thing that really stopped the acid from coming up. I also had nexium. If you don't know what nexium is, it's granules, or it can come in tablets, that you dissolve in water or you swallow the tablet itself. And it basically reduces the stomach acid you have. I think I was prescribed too much of it because it caused me swallowing issues, and that was a lot of the time why I couldn't swallow properly. But obviously having acid being on your throat all the time doesn't help with swallowing. It also felt like I had something stuck in the back of my throat for the whole of when I had H. pylori. That was something that was really, really uncomfortable. I also had a lot of, it also took a big toll on my mental health. I had a bunch of panic attacks. I did have heart racing. I didn't have chest pain. Unless my heart was racing a lot, that was the only time I had it. I didn't have back pain either. I didn't have weird body pains or cramps or anything. That wasn't something that I personally had dealt with. I had a few headaches, but really not that much. Some people said that they had pressure on their head. I had a little bit of that, but it was nothing that what I would say was a definite like reaction from having H. pylori itself. I just sometimes get migraines, so it's probably not from H. pylori. My symptoms were pretty mild, although they took a huge toll on my mental health and my physical health because I had no energy all the time, because it felt as if I was never going to get cured from it. But now I'm cured. So just know that you will get cured from it. I did end up having 2 rounds of antibiotics. So I took 3 different antibiotics both times, and I followed them up with a probiotic. The first time I took antibiotics, I was never aware that I had to have probiotics while taking them. So it really, really, really made me sick. It really, really did. That's why I would seriously recommend you have a probiotic. All I had was Yakult. It's just this milk in a little bottle, and it has probiotics within it. You can have probiotic yogurt or anything like that, just as long as it's kind of in a small little amount, because if you have too much dairy while on H. pylori, it really doesn't help you at all. I actually ended up having no dairy. The probiotic I had was the only form of dairy I had. So just know that that is really useful to have a probiotic, as it stops your body from losing all of its good bacteria, because that is what antibiotics do. They basically strip all the bacteria. Even if it's good, they take it all away. That's why you really feel terrible when you take them. But yeah, I had this worst, awful metallic taste in my mouth throughout the whole time of taking the probiotics. They tasted so awful. Every single morning and night, I would just regret like having to take them. But just know that if you do experience that, I experienced it too. And there was nothing much I could do. I did try and chew gum to try and take the flavor away because it was such a really strong flavor and it was terrible. I had air that would be stuck in my throat all the time, and I would form into a habit of doing this. That's literally just like forcing air out of your throat. I would do that a lot, but it would then turn into this awful habit of having to do it all the time. I did it all the time, and it was so annoying. So, like, if you're trying to clear air out of your throat, just rest, and then I find that the air actually comes out itself. That is something I had to learn to do because otherwise I would just make the situation a lot worse, because every single time I would force air out of my throat, it would bring up acid with it, and that was really awful to deal with. I'm a really athletic person most times, so once I got off H. pylori and started to get back into the gym, it was really hard to get back because I was super dizzy and super tired. So a lot of the time I would try and get up from doing weights or anything like that, and it would go black, or I'd have to like lie down straight away. That is definitely something that to be kept in mind of, that when you're trying to get back into exercise or even everyday activities, that you will be very weak to start off with. Well, at least that's what I had, because I was kind of just not really doing much while having H. pylori itself. But yeah, I'm gonna try and think of more stuff to say, so I'll just pause this. When I went to bed every single night, I'd have to be propped upright. This really helps with reducing the acid that comes into your throat at night. And obviously you don't want to wake up and then have a bunch of vomit or acid in your mouth. So that really helped me. It's also when you lay on the right side or on the side, I found even just laying on the side would make my reflux a lot worse. So I never laid on the side. I was always upright and on my back. That really helped me as well. And also just know that this is very contagious, so make sure you're not kissing anyone or sharing food or even cutlery or plates, because my mum ended up getting it. So make sure you're not sharing any sort of cutlery or plates or, you know, food with people, because that's really gonna increase the chances of you infecting like your loved ones or even your friends or anything like that. But yeah, that's the most thing I can think about symptom wise. And then the next video will be more of based on food and how I made the food that I have, because I really want to go into depth with that, because I do get a lot of questions on food. So I'll definitely upload that in the next video. But just so you know, now I'm fully cured. I have my energy back. I don't have to sleep in certain positions. Now I can sleep however I want, on the side, on my stomach. My brain fog is gone. I don't have panic attacks unless it's like really going through something. But yeah, I don't have any issues with anxiety like I used to. Like, it was really, really bad. And that's just because you have receptors in your stomach that connect up to your brain, and when you don't have good gut health, it really causes a huge imbalance in your body, and that's why you have a lot of mental issues when you have really bad gut health. So if you wanted to know why it's linked, that is why. I probably haven't explained it properly, but it's to do on that. Another reason, or another thing that I really, really recommend is going and getting an endoscopy. So what they do is they put you under, and then I put a flexible rod, and a camera is attached to the bottom of it, and they put that down your throat, and they look at the state of like your throat, your intestines, and your stomach, just to make sure that there's no stomach ulcers or anything that they should be worried about. I know a lot of people are scared of cancer when it comes to H. pylori. I would only think that is something to worry about if you have reoccurring stomach ulcers that won't heal. That is the only time that you need to kind of be worried, but don't be worried about it, because I can't even say that you should be worried about it. I can only recommend that there's no need to worry unless you have multiple, I'm talking multiple stomach ulcers and they won't heal. That is probably something to be worried about, or something to at least just get checked up on. But just know that it's quite rare to have cancer from this, unless it kind of goes really out of control. That's when it's something to, you know, probably talk to your doctor about really seriously. And you can always talk to your doctor or your specialist about your worries for it, and they will also make sure to check in and to make sure everything's going well with your body and how you are. Yeah, I'll talk about losing weight and gaining weight and everything after H. pylori in the next video I make when I'm discussing food. I just want to make a short video now just to go over the few questions that I've had. So I hope this covers most questions. If you do have any, please leave them down below. The other reason I'm really bad at replying to people is because I'm actually quite busy at the moment. I'm in lockdown and I am also studying, and I was working full-time before this, so you know, it's kind of hard for me to get around to all the hundreds of questions. But just know on my YouTube, if you do look through the videos I've made, your questions should be answered in them. Or if you just look it down in the comments below at the videos that I've made, a lot of people answer each other's questions, and I have answered a few of them, so I'd really recommend you do that as well. But either way, I hope everyone's going well, and just know that I'm 100% well now, and there is hope in the end, and that you will get cured. But I hope this helped you guys, and I hope you have a lovely day or night or whatever time of the day it is for you guys. And thank you so much for watching me along this journey. I really appreciate it, and I really hope that it helped you guys as well. So thank you.